You know, next thing, let's interact with innovative TV to make them understand the need to reduce the amount of violence on the television and in the movies. Uh, Again, we want to reemphasize, like when Miss Rita, one of my students, I got to say that, Miss Rita, one of my students, children are the real experts in violent prevention. They must be included by asking them if we really want to know what works and what doesn't. Last two, develop comprehensive service for children and their families, and redesign schools to become multi-service centers to be open days and evenings. Our schools are locked up from time school finish, and the young people in the community can utilize them to do things to better themselves. Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Good evening. The name is Mary Moorhead. Um, Retired teacher, 30 years. I have served, as the senator said, and I will put emphasis on serve because I'm still owed the real retro. No, not everybody, because everybody didn't suffer a decrease in their annuity because they were owed retro. I want to also point out that yes, I am a member of the Board of Education, but I am not here representing the board in any way. I want to focus on the fact that the history and knowing who we are important, because if we realized that as Crucians, the elder is always right. The elder has the authority to do and say whatever. That is the way Crucians were brought up. We know that. Now, I just seriously want to focus on the curriculum. I'm quite aware of the books that Senator VLA spoke about that speak about USVI. I don't know where the USVI is. And talk about 4 islands in the Virgin Islands, which I know nothing about. And they are workbooks. They are Band-Aid, just like all the Band-Aids that have been put on the curriculum with the culture activities. You know, really, Senator VLA, I must say it, when you were talking, I was wondering if you wrote the response that Judge Brady gave to the writ of mandamus for Act 4844 that was brought by Mr. Miller, Mr. Kendall Peterson, rest him in his grave, and myself, because everything you said is what exactly that judge said, why he denied us the writ, and we had to go to the Supreme Court to get it overturned. We celebrate in February, we have all these activities. Everything they claim the department is enough. Okay. That's what the judge said, and really, all the things you itemized were right in there. You could go and see it still. And I mean, how important is it for our children to know themselves so they can have pride, feel valuable, if the very government that claimed that's what we should do is the one that's fighting, because we're still in court. We're still in court. Just to try to get VI history and basic Caribbean history that's on the books since 1983 till now, from K through 12. And like I said, I know about the workbooks. I know about the 1 grade in the 8th grade and the one required in 9th grade, and don't come with 4th grade, because I've spoken to the teachers who themselves say, well, me got time with them, small head, me dealing with it, you know. And let's be honest, we hear it all over, and I'll make reference to the mainland only because all the studies are speaking to the fact is that the children must know their history in order to develop their self-esteem and their self-worth. So let's stop playing it down. That's the first thing that needs to happen. And it's not just this, just the history. The curriculum in itself must relate to us as a people in the Caribbean who are majority African descendants living on islands. Look at our curriculum. How does it relate to where we are? Even the environmental that, where the gentleman went, Mr. Saki was relating to. We're not dealing with that, so we don't even know how to conserve, how to preserve where we live because it's not relevant in our curriculum. We train and educate for the mainland, and then we wonder why the Russian catching a plane. Not to say that we mustn't include it, but where are we in the curriculum? Your VI code, our VI code. Been said for years too that you're supposed to have a early childhood education, pre-kindergarten, in the Department of Education. It does not exist. And then we want to know what happened to them from 0 to 5. Human Services got a long waiting list. We have places sitting that can be fixed so that we can accommodate these little children. Because you see, I focus on, if you want to prevent, you got to begin at the beginning. I believe it's Frederick Douglass' quote that says it's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. And I believe in the value of education, period. Those of us who have been in AFT with me, this young lady right next to me, even Terrence, know, I have gone to bat against all of them in the favor of the children. I don't care because I have seen over and over that a quality, relevant education makes a difference in the achievement and the success of the child. 3 things. 1, all of you in the government who've been in the police department got to know what is the main way that these illegal guns are coming in. Focus there. You say you can't focus all over. There must be a special way. Focus there and slow it down, if not to stop it. The curriculum, and then every time they can hurry getting money for after school program or some other program and claiming they're dealing with the youth, send them in the neighborhood where the youth is. Don't tell me about can you get a ballpark and the child can't get there. You have areas that have community centers closed up. Open them up. If you're giving them money, tell them where they have to go, which is where the children are and need a supervision after school to keep them from getting into the negative activity. Don't tell me you want money to go make a program and you're carrying it someplace and the child got to figure out or the parents have to carry them. Yes, it's their responsibility, but it is better if we focus where there are already the centers established, some of them even with recreation equipment close by, where the programs should happen and should happen all the time.
Thank you, Ms. Moorhead. Ready?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Marcia Milligan, and I'm the mother of Shakira Ritter. And most of the things I wanted to say, she already said, so I'm just going to be very brief. However, I spoke with Senator Sanis earlier, and I said, the senator says that they can't do everything. Okay, I agree. But it's this same body that half of these people in charge, commissioners, directors, if I'm saying it right, I don't know about directors. But anyway, this is the same body that these people come to be appointed to get their jobs. And since we're on the subject about violence, if the Justice Department have someone there who is working the age or whatever and not doing the job, I think we start to use some report cards. you don't have people working in a position and not doing the job. And I think this is half of our problem. You have people in jobs politically, and because they're your friends, they're there, but they're not doing the job. If you're in charge of the Justice Department, you're supposed to give the community justice. We have too much unsolved murders out there. Parents are crying. I am the mother of Shakira, as I said. She's the last of 11 siblings of her father, and I have to deal with her every month his anniversary comes around. And no one have ever said, we're working on it. We to page 2, page 3. We had a lead, and it's very frustrating. So I'm going to ask the senators, I know some of you weren't here before, but something needs to be done with people in charge. You have people in charge of human services that works with the youths. If they're not doing what they're supposed to do, and their people under them is not doing what they're supposed to do, they need to go. They come right to this body, and you are the people that says, Governor, yes, put them through. And when they go through and they're not doing what they're supposed to do, you need to get rid of them. I think that's one of the biggest steps you need to take. Everybody working, and everybody got a friend, and everybody say, well, okay, oh, he voted for me and she voted for me. And that's not working for us. And that's just one department that I've seen so many. I saw years ago where they brought in some veterans policemen to solve cases that was in the books for years. And they didn't solve any of them. And they went home with some big salaries. We can't continue to do that. We cannot continue to do that. It's not about our friends. And like I said, when they come here and you send them off, there's some kind of committee that needs to get together and say, hey, look, Governor, we can't continue to have these people in this position. So I'm asking you, if you can get together and take care of that problem, I think that will solve some of the problems. I'm not going to go any longer because, like I said, most of the things I wanted to say, my daughter have already said it. I thank you guys who are here to listen to us, but we need to continue. We can't just say, oh, well, we appoint here, you got 2 more years, you got 4 years. It's not about that. You're not going to do it, you just go. That's something new that we can't change. We can't just change that. It has to stay like that. That's what I like to see happen. Do your work or go. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Good evening. My name is George Gautier, and many of you know me already. You have seen me. I'm the father of Shakira Gautier. Many you have heard that she has been shot. My girl was a girl where she worked is in the police department as evidence, not on the street. Like how they talking over how they come and blaze us or what you want. My girl was an honest girl, hard-working girl. She could have survived, but they keep her there until she died. Many of you have heard that she was shot in her mouth, right? Many of you have heard that, right? Have heard that. This is where she was shot, right to the stomach. To the stomach she was shot. And nobody did nothing. I asked for autopsy. She don't have no gunpowder. This way she was shot. When I told the commissioner she don't carry the weapon, he said confiscated weapon. Do you see any confiscated weapon there? No. None of the pictures of them have a weapon in her hand. And she'd stay there and suffer until she died. Suffer. When I asked one of the police chief, he said he makes sure that Chris Howard make sure the camera them have. And these cameras was better than these one we got here. Plenty better. And I know they shut them out because these cameras were brand new. And I want justice for my child. And don't matter what it takes, I'm not going to quit. I'm going to take it even if I have to take it on my own because I had enough. But these good for nothing. Misleader, they come back and say, look how the blazers here. None of them say condolence to our children. None of them. Just come and blaze us about our children. My God, look the one who died in Water God. They were playing dominoes, they was good children. They wasn't doing nothing wrong. Look at my child right to the stomach. And they said he was our mouth. Come on, man. Everybody knows this. And you got commissioner here that Francis, he know what he did. Good night. I had enough. Thank you.
Good night. My name is David Clark. My name is David Clark. Even though I don't know how my name get on the paper, I'm not going to back off. My name was Carl, and I came forward. That was meant to be. First of all, I'm listening to the young lady and many more. Mr. Miller, that's your name, correct? Yes. You said most of the stuff then, but I can still find something to say. Along with the young guy that was right here that walked to the correction. Yes, him. Okay? And actually, Mr. VLA, I'm here because, not of you or the rest senators, because of the statement that I heard Mario said on the radio. What you want me to do? I don't know which one said it. I ain't care to hear who said it, but that's what brought me here. Why? Because everybody here, every one of us here, had one of those young men that get shot down, who wherever, family to them. Okay? So that's what brought me here. Okay? Now, I know I listened to you, VLA, and you said what you all want me to do as far as a teacher, educator. You mentioned that. Okay. Like I said, not everything I could remember. Okay? So excuse me. But as far as the parents is responsible for their child, which is true. That's something I always hear everybody say. But at the same time, you don't have the answer. All the senators don't have the answer. But at the same time, it's a little thing and how you say it is what really affects all of us. We're not here to blame everybody. It's how you say it. That's your child. You take care of your child. That was your son. You take care of your son. You make sure your son went far. I don't have nothing personal against nobody here. But what I'm trying to say, y'all is in the Senate seat. Everybody don't expect y'all to be a miracle, to do everything. But at the same time, try. Say something to make people feel good. Don't say something to add to it. And what I meant by that, when you said, you take care of your child, you discipline your child. Everybody's supposed to discipline their child, but at the same time, some people need help. Because today is children taking care of children. Correct? Children taking care of children. Okay? Anyway. Time? Anyway, what I'm here to say is that, as far as I see it, there's only one officer that everybody's calling his name strongly that could go into any turf and talk to the young men them that have problem out there. One young man. I'm talking about McFarlane. Okay? I'm talking about McFarlane. It shouldn't be McFarlane alone out there to go into any turf. I'm a firefighter. I raise my right hand to do my job. Meaning, if I was supposed, I'm not running for a senator. If I was supposed to be a senator, I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, I want to know what's going on and them tough. They are our children. Not because they're not your physically children, you make them, they are your children. You guys need to visit, what do they call it, the turf, my estate, my home, wherever. You guys need to visit, take a walk through, talk to the young man them. I would have do that. Why? We got to feel them out. The same way how we here hotting, they hotting. Like Mr. Miller said, they have their rules. So if for some of your senators here, go in, visit the turf, feel them out, and I believe we will have a better community. I take upon myself to do the fireworkers, you know. Why? I going down on this one. I see the young lady that be walking the street, the African one that walk like she Madeline. That's who motivate me. Where others would have looked down on her, I look up. Why? I was looking at her immune system, while others was looking at her outside. So I leave you with a message to think, not because people walk in the street, according to how they look. You never judge no one. Please visit the TOF, visit whatever name you want to call it, you need to go and visit them. Talk to them. One love.
Thank you. It's been, I think this has been a very productive meeting. And in the beginning, I said that I was going to make a list of 5 main things. We have over 42 ideas and concepts. We have unanswered questions. And what I'm going to ask is, with the help of Aisha, we're going to make another date in which we're going to come back. But I want individuals who will volunteer, and hopefully, young man, you will be one of them because I worked with you before. Young lady, hopefully you will be one of them. I want to volunteer of a group of individuals so we can go over that list and prioritize it. All of them are important. All of them are good ideas. A lot of them were repeated over and over again. The Mr. Miller, right? I'm sorry, Mr. Miller. There was a one about going into the neighborhood, going into el barrio, whatever you want to call it. That was mentioned 4 times, which I think is something that we need to incorporate. But we're going to look, and with the help of Aisha, we're going to form this group, and we're going to set a date, and we're going to come back here. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Is there any senator here that heard anything that they begin would be a starting point for something to develop?
Yes. But I'll ask them. I'll give them the mic and they'll have an opportunity to.
I'll keep saying it's a conversation, but me hearing no conversation.
Okay, thank you. So that's what we're going to do. And there is a short little video, if you can indulge me, 3 minutes. Media.
Hi, my name is.
Wait, hold on a minute, media. Hold on, you want to explain it?
This is a young black graduate out of Mambiju that graduated from St.Croix Educational Complex. He was a part of the Black Men March at UVI. And then they had a presentation in the small theater, and he did a presentation to the road less traveled, but he made it applicable to the Virgin Islands. And I think he has a very, very powerful message. His name is Amali Krieger. So key in on the words that he's saying in the video, please.
Hi, my name is Amali Krieger. I'm representing the Residence Hall. I'm a resident assistant of the Ninth Dorm. I'm representing St. Croix Educational Complex. I'm representing the University of Virgin Islands as a computer science student. I'm representing Franjipani Mamiju and a whole secretary. I felt like being a little radical today and taking pride in being a Crucian. Let me tell us something.
Yes, brother.
The VI ain't where it's supposed to be right now. I'm going to talk about the road less traveled. I'm going to tell you this in a way you can understand.
Yes.
It would seem that our Lord finds our desires not too strong, but too weak. We are half-hearted creatures, fooling about with drink and sex and ambition when infinite joy is offered us like an ignorant child who wants to go on making mud pies in a slum because he cannot imagine what is meant by the offer of a holiday at the sea. We are far too easily pleased. We are far too easily pleased. But it seems that the road less traveled is college. College, that's where I want to be. Ain't nowhere else I want to be right now. How can college be the road less traveled when everyone outside of here just wants to sell weed? And I got nothing against speed, but you can't compare that to a degree.
Yes.
See, the road less traveled is in college. The road most traveled is probably psychology. Because that's what we're all studying, right? It's either that or Bob Marley. You see, we all want to be loved, but our bad decisions lead to sex, when we should have been studying our black history. And then we get a baby, but not the degree, when God said to be absent, but we think we're smarter than he. You see, God said the road less traveled is a narrow gate that leads to life. And there are few who find it. A few. But we're the select. We're the ones that got to be someone. We're the ones that got to change this whole thing around. You see, to me, the road less traveled is Jesus Christ. But we get caught up in women, drugs, alcohol, and money. I don't want to go to McDonald's. I want to eat lobster. I want to eat Red Lobster right next to Rainbow Beach. I don't want to chill on the corner. I want to get a degree. I want to turn the Virgin Islands around. And I hope you guys are with me. Because I can't handle any more of the people I played ball with getting murdered. Because they were selling on the street when they could at least been in college with me. R.I.P. to Boo Boo, R.I.P. to Dave Edwards, Woodson Warriors, and Alfredo Trailblazers for life. And then we gotta hear that some of them would have lived if the hospital didn't run out of blood so quickly. I'm telling you that we are far too easily pleased with hospitals lacking in inventory. And so much people are just out here chilling when Senator Viale said education is the answer. But we are out here drinking every night as if we're celebrities. Let's make a change. One of the roads less traveled is change. And it's up to us who are pursuing a degree to make one. And help people follow the road to God and love and greatness and hopefully a degree. Because it's up to us to do that. My grandmother said, set an example. Let's travel this road to happiness. Let's travel this road to education. Let's make St. Croix way more poppin'. Let's do this together. Let's change the road less traveled to the road most traveled so I don't lose any more homies. So my little brother can see what college is like. I pray he becomes somebody. Let's do it for the VI. Even if the road got potholes that's been needed to be fixed for centuries, let's get over these potholes. Let's finally pave this road for the generations coming up because we are on a great road. Let's finesse this degree. And by finesse, I mean get this degree and make it a road more traveled.
Thank you, media. I'm going to give a round real quick to the senators and see if they have any ideas, concepts in terms of what was discussed today. I'll start with Mr. Viale and we'll work our way down. Come, sir. Okay.
I took offense, Senator. It's okay?
You took offense. I said that's okay for you to take offense. You can't say it's not okay.
Let me sit.
And I'm sure you can explain exactly what you took offense. So it is okay.
I asked, why is it we can't grow and develop from the inside out? All you senators spoke, never spoke to it. You blamed parents for the problem, but it's the same education system that you claim to be a superhero for that educated those parents who are now being described as children, growing children. Maybe you don't know. Perhaps you don't read enough. None of you. Before the Paiwansky era, did you know that the teacher-to-student ratio was 75 students to a teacher? How did that work? Since you know about it. Because discipline was not a problem. Why? What happened to those teachers that could handle a classroom of 75 teachers? What happened to them? This is what you need to think about. Terence Tadman, the ambassador that we look up to, went to public school. 80 students were in his class. He was one of 80. You don't seem to pay any attention to what has happened to the Virgin Islands since World War II. Before World War II, America would not even let other black West Indians, Caribbean people into the Virgin Islands. Did you know that? But in World War II, when they needed labor, they brought them back as aliens. We still have that fight going on. But most importantly, most offensive to me, is the ignorance that I get from my representatives. Senator Francis spoke to the difficulty of moving legislation. Could it possibly be because you and your colleagues don't understand that you're in a Republican form of government without checks and balances? Do you understand that? Well, then why don't you do something about it? It is absolutely essential that you understand that before the Paiwansky era, Virgin Island students were premier wherever they went. Why were they so properly educated by their own peers? Did you ever stop to think why Paiwansky brought NYU in here to tell our people, our teachers, that they could not teach any longer unless they went to a university that didn't exist? Here is a man, educated as a scientist. What did he give us? A liberal arts college to study the humanities of Europeans. You should understand that. But most importantly, why is it that none of you have any grasp of why is it you cannot develop our children? Why are they rebelling? You think they got a bad gene? Or they have bad, good-for-nothing leadership? You speak of Cuba. Before the revolution, the children weren't progressing, and you talk to us here as if Cuban children are somehow superior to Virgin Islands children. It's the good-for-nothing misleaders. It is higher because of the revolution. What was it before the revolution? That's right. That's just it. Our literacy rate is low because of people like you, and the rest of you. Good for nothing misleaders don't all understand who you are representing. Tell me why. Tell me why, Senator Bailey. Why is it that we cannot develop from the inside out? Why do we have to import whatever to it say? I'm further offended, but then again, this is the way it goes. The point here is, that none of you the point right here that you have not responded to and you still have not responded to. Why is it that as lawmakers, as representative of the people of the Virgin Islands, why can you not have an initiative to develop the people of the Virgin Islands? Why is it necessary to go outside to bring people to develop the Virgin Islands? Why? Please tell us.
And I'll begin because I'm a born Virgin Island and I don't have any way to go. However, you can't tell me what I'm thinking. You can't tell me what's my approach You can't tell me what I've done. And I ain't gonna stand there and you telling me why this, you ain't do this, good for nothing, mislead us, this or that, and that mean it's factual. Does that mean it's factual? The statement was made, why you don't go and talk to the people on the turf. Ask anybody that's running the turf them in Frederick Service, caught Anthony Vele, having gone and personally talked to them and tell them to hold on with the violence. And I don't want to call a name, I could call a name privately to you. And I've gone and begged them to hold on the violence. I said that I'm trying to move legislation to incorporate the Virgin Islands history into the Common Core State standards that were adopted. I'm not backing off on it. It's there. It has nothing in the book. You know the laws very well, Mr. Moore, because you're a brilliant man. You know the laws. I'm not talking about those books. I'm talking about a standard review committee to incorporate Virgin Islands history, Caribbean history, and the way that we live into the curriculum. Common Core don't have to be just all stateside books. It doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be all knowledge about the mainland. But don't negate and try to tell people that we are not preparing children for the global world. We're not preparing them for St. Croix, St. Thomas, and St. John alone. We're preparing them to go any place and be successful. And in order to do that, you got to teach them everything. That is in the curriculum. It is in the curriculum. You guys come here with one track thinking one way, and you don't want to hear nothing else. All you want to hear is, you got the power and you're not doing nothing. And that is not true. It is not true. People talk about vocational education. CTEC empty. They got class with a capacity of 20 students and they got 5 students in the class. 5 students. Shakira Ritter was a student at Complex. She came to Central High School after that traumatic experience. And every day I hug and nurture her and push this girl every single day. You have it. You could go to college. I spent 28 years in education, educating individuals. Royal Lioness son been there. 2 years I had that boy. He failed 1 class. 15 credits. He had when I left. When I left Complex, things change. I have made my contribution to this place. You were in the system. You had the opportunity. You on the board now. You have the opportunity to push. Mario has the air. Sure, he has the ability to send a message every single day to the people at the Virgin Islands. But if the message, if part of the message that you're sending out there is the stinking good for nothing, I'm going to stone them, they need to get stoned, they need to this, you're sending the wrong message to our children. We are adults. Be careful as to what you're sending to our children. I will never, ever encourage anybody to disrespect. You said clearly, Ms. Moorhead, you don't disrespect your elders. When you're on the radio sign, good for nothing misleaders. When you're on the radio sign, they need to get stoned. So, but I hear that. Okay. Fine. Okay. I take it back then. However, if you make those statements, what message are you sending to the children? We gotta be fair, you know. We gotta be fair, and we gotta learn how to work with everybody. And you were a part of the system. And all I'm saying is you now have a leadership position in the board, and the board is in chaos. So we can't even get nothing done because there's a battle within the board for leadership, so the education issues are not getting dealt with. Let us stop blaming, and let's start to work together to move this place. Every single one of you that's saying, let we do this or that, tomorrow go to the Department of Education, go to a school and sign up and volunteer and be a mentor. Every single one of you that's saying you want to do X, Y, and Z, go and be a mentor.